back to the Black Hills again.
K.A.O.S. Tonight, broadcasting live from New York. At Radio K.A.O.S, we think of it as Main Street. But for the rest of the world, it's the Sunset Strip. You're listening to Radio K.A.O.S. Well, we're now going to switch over to Studio B for our very own Cynthia Fox and Paramount Kelly.
Did it again?
Well, I mean, that's the dedication.
All the way.
Can you get a bit of this, blues jazz? Let's take it from there.
Request that you have tonight for K.A.O.S. You hear radio waves in your head. Uh-huh. Is there a request that you have tonight for K.A.O.S.?
etc., 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 etc. It's a bit late in the day.
Okay, so we haven't tried. Jim's going to be running the show from perched high atop the Providence, Rhode Island Civic Center stage there, wearing something casual. So let's just do a quick check. Nick, are we ready on film? Okay, Gary, sound. Carol? Okay, 841, stand by, Jim, we'll go 842. So we're standing by, you all set up there, Coach? Okay. All right, over to you, Jim.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to a final rehearsal, Yeah. My very first time to Providence. It's a wonderful place, as I'm sure you all know. Now, we are going to take you tonight to a place that many of you will remember, and a place that some of you, unfortunately, have never gone. But tonight, Radio K.A.O.S will take you into a realm of free radio. This is before the advent of things like radio consultants, corporate rock, and posers. This is the real thing. We have a lot of people from radio here tonight. We have people from all different forms of media from all across the country. And we have a lot of guests who won tickets here tonight. Yeah. So, I want you to come with me now to a time before calculated formats, demographic trends, and computer spreadsheets. A time when rock and roll was heard on a forbidden radio in a darkened bedroom illuminated only by the light of the radio dial. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Radio K.A.O.S.
The world spent $9 billion. The World Health Organization had a total budget of just $520 million. That's the equivalent of just $6.
Yes, Rick was nice, but this is much better. Hello, Allison.
Hi, Jim. I have to say that if I weren't a woman, I'd really like to have your voice.
Oh, thank you. It's very nice. I'm a guy, and I'd really like to have you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that. I'm sorry. I know. What do you have? What kind of message do you have from WBRU?
I gotta say that we have had this record out for a while, that we really want to support local music. And the most important thing about this record is that all the funds from this record are going to go to 3 great Rhode Island charities, including Rhode Island Homeless, Rhode Island Cancer Fund, and Rhode Island Hungry. And the idea is that while you can support local music, where the heart and soul is, and where Roger probably got his start, you can also help a couple of people who haven't had as nice a day as you've had today.
Oh, that's very nice. Good for you. All right. Now, is this something that your station does a lot, the local?
We try to do every year.
Yeah.
We go out in Rhode Island, we try to find all the local bands and bring them to the clubs and get some people in the industry down and take a look at it and help them clean the wax out of their ears and check out what's up.
That our industry can use. Allison, thank you very much. It was wonderful to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Will you give her a hand here? We're trying to rehearse for tomorrow. Come on, Ron.
How are you?
I'm fine, and yourself?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful.
Yep.
Wonderful.
We'll be back.
So,
I don't know, radio, all of us seem to be able to talk the same language. That's
K.A.O.S.
Chaos. What is going on here from your perspective?
From our perspective, we've got beach parties, we've got partying. We also say, don't drink and drive. How many people drink and drive anyway? Oh, so then you know to look out for the other guy who's drunker than you.
Amen.
Hey, yes.
Yeah.
Do you have a cigarette?
Yes, I do. You like one?
Yeah.
Now, God knows that I've never partied in my life.
Me
I'm
neither.
completely brown rice and meditation, but drinking and driving is something that even I will absolutely not tolerate. So thank you for that message. There's your smoke.
The other day I was at a bar.
Yes.
And we were drinking. Didn't mean to drink too much, but they had a breathalyzer. They have a breathalyzer test, and it says right on there with lips, blow firmly for 5 seconds. You couldn't pull these people off of it. I scored the highest. I wasn't driving, though. No driving. All right, so we won't drink and drive, right? And we'll come out to the beach party. Yes? You know where Miss Quamica Beach is?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. I was being talked to by the
what are you
man.
doing?
Well, this guy. Stand up.
It's Billy.
Oh, stand up. This is Peter Rides. This is the manager. We call him the commander-in-chief here.
I thought it was Billy coming to you through those radio waves in your head.
If he does this to me again, he's going to be in a
Are you going to do this to me tomorrow?
No. No, we're going to do the breathalyzer test tomorrow.
Are you going to blow for 5 seconds or more?
One of us should, yeah. Okay, hey, I don't know. You give me a line.
Not on mic.
I understand. Are we ready here?
Did I blow it?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, and we will see you tomorrow night up
Yes,
here
I'll be here.
for the real thing. Thank you, Rona Richmond. All right. Well, I understand.
I guess you're working very closely with the band.
Trying my best.
I guess you get paid by the band to do this tour. I hope so. I hope you're not doing a charity here.
No. I go out with a little tin cup and collect
That's
afterwards.
good. That's good. Everybody have money? And the only thing I was concerned about, I was talking to a gentleman out there with a British accent or such, and my good friend Rick O.B., who does afternoons 2 to 6 at HJY, very cool guy. I was just concerned because you said we got Rick O.B., we got somebody, we got something better here, Allison from WBRU, and I was just taking.
I said
Fun with
something
that.
better. No. I said in addition to, I think. Oh boy, you're going to bust me now on stage, aren't you?
Hardly. Because I was coached not to.
Will you
But
be here tomorrow?
I'm concerned because we're all in
this
we're all
together.
in this together, okay?
Yes.
And we're all performing different functions. And I love WBRU. I came from WBRU. That's my roots. And at the same time, we all get paid, and
Yes.
we're all playing the record. And I think we should all be in this together. And
Well, I think that we are. I'm getting
I don't
the
think
signal
one's
here.
better than the other.
We'll discuss this later, okay? Because I'm
Can
not
we
gonna
discuss it tomorrow from 7 to 8 tomorrow morning?
Uh-oh. Okay, that's a deal.
You're
I'll be
on.
there. I'll be
All
there
right.
tomorrow morning.
I'll have a limo for you at quarter
Oh,
of 7.
my God. All right, thank you very, very much. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, we are back.
At Radio K.A.O.S, we think of it as Main Street. But to the rest of the world, it's known as the Sunset Strip.
Through the stations with the picking up, and the male voice choir on the short wave band. Billy taps out Jim's number on the phone. Says, come on here, speak to the blues. The land is calling to me, and I should have Cash flow across the ocean. We were just a memory. Snapshot in the family album. Daddy, what else did you leave for me? Daddy, what you leave behind for me? Just a drinking door. All it was, all just bricks in the wall.
Hope you enjoyed.
Sorry?
Are you becoming a person?
Yes.
Something marginally along those lines, which I rather... It seems to have been thrust upon me rather than even a certain flow of events about this. But anyway, listen, obviously we're going to have to recover some of that ground.
Recut what?
Recover some of that ground.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you seem incredibly comfortable up on stage playing with the group. But, I mean, how difficult has it been making that transition to being a solo artist?
Well, it's not difficult at all. I mean, playing in a band is playing in a band, and all these musicians are very good and very nice people as well, and so it's easy.
But was it difficult in the intervening period between the end of the Pink Floyd and the solo album, The Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking?
Yeah, I suppose it takes a while to sort yourself out and to find the kind of people that you really want to play with and gather them together in one place at one time and start sounding like a band. Yeah, it does take a while. I mean, it doesn't just happen overnight.
Did you feel shell-shocked to any extent at the end of it all?
No, I didn't, no.
I mean, the theme of Radio Chaos...
Go for it, go on, bite the bullet.
The theme of Radio Chaos is about a boy with brain damage from South Wales who ends up in Los Angeles. I mean, what exactly occurs within the scope of the record?
God, so many difficult questions. I can't explain the record on television. I cannot start explaining the record on television. Anyway, let's keep running. We'll eventually get to something.
But you can explain the plot.
The plot of the record.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I'm not going to talk about the plot of the record.
Go on.
No, I'm not going to talk about the plot. I'll tell you why, because it sounds crazed, and it is mildly crazed when you start. If I start describing, it's like saying, I've written this play, and it's going to be on in your local theatre in the next couple of months or so, and I'll now tell you what it's about and what happens and who the characters are and how you wouldn't do it. And I, although in print with you, I've attempted to explain something of what the record's about. In a filmed interview, I find it very difficult.
I mean, why do you think you find it difficult?
Well, because the record speaks for itself, and it needs to be, you have to listen to the record. If you want to cop what's on it, you have to listen to it. It's not a story that can be told briefly and verbally in a set-up situation in an interview like this. It wouldn't do it justice, or me justice.
But I mean, it is a large theme.
I'm very keen on justice.
It is a large theme, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's about lots and lots of large themes. It's about monetarism, and it's about, lots of large themes. I've been doing about 15 interviews a night for the last week. Actually not, but 3 or 4 every night. And so maybe I'm interviewed out in terms of talking about Radio K.A.O.S. I can't tell anybody else about Billy. They're going to have to bloody well find out for themselves.
But anyway, Billy is this paraplegic boy, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yeah, and he's from Wales. Yeah.
And there's matters like the miners' strike.
Yeah.
One's intuitive forces.
Yeah.
Terrorism.
Yeah.
I mean, there are many themes in it.
Yeah.
But I mean, all your work really tends to have these. I mean, very large themes. I mean, do you feel that you have to take this upon yourself, or I mean, do you find it difficult to do that?
I think I would find it very difficult to make short, meaningless songs, if you see what I mean.
But often people can concentrate on the microcosm.
I don't find it any more difficult or less interesting or whatever to do what I do than I'm sure other people do in rock and roll to do what they do, which may be very different, if you see what I mean. I've always made what are called concept albums, and the records are always about something or other, and that's what interests me, and that's the form within which I work and will continue to work, hopefully.
I mean, do they grow, in fact? Do they always start off, you know, with the overview, or do they grow?
No, they grow out of usually one specific idea or one specific. The Wall, for instance, grew out of standing on stage in Montreal in the Olympic Stadium in front of 90,000 people and realizing that the whole thing was a disaster for everybody involved. The band, the audience, everybody. And that's where the theatrical idea of building a wall across the front of a stage developed from. This piece comes from sitting quietly in a room and starting to write songs and allowing many of my unconscious feelings to emerge through that process, and then having a look at the songs and saying, good heavens, I've written a song here about a miner called Benny who throws a concrete block off a motorway bridge onto some innocent text. Why the fuck have I written that song? You know, and then I look down all the avenues and possibilities and think, well, maybe it's something to do with my concern about South Wales or some people I know there, namely the male voice choir who I've worked with before, and or a number of other possibilities. And at the end of the roads that I search down, then I find monetarism and other pernicious economic philosophies, and slowly the work develops. But the narrative starts from the song Who Needs Information.
So that was the first song that was there?
No, well, that wasn't the first song I wrote, but it was the first one that had anything to do with any narrative. The first song I wrote in this series of songs was a song called Get Back to Radio, which isn't on the record.
I mean, how much stuff do you ditch, in fact? How many of your songs actually make the record?
There's about half. I used about half of it.
I mean, say, on the record, say, like The Wall, I mean, would it be about the same percentage?
No, The Wall used everything. Every last scrap and scraping. With the exception of one song which appeared in the film, which was the second part of Empty Spaces, all the stuff about shall we buy a new guitar, that didn't fit on the record for some reason.
But it was a huge album, obviously.
And it was a double album.
A huge double album, exactly. It used up a lot of songs. But
it was heavy. It weighed 2-3 pounds.
Yes, exactly.
Loaded. Sorry.
But as you say, it grew from that moment of that show in Montreal.
Yeah.
I mean, why exactly do you think you felt uncomfortable about it? I mean,
Well, I think that all stadium gigs are alienating experiences. They're no good for the audience and they're no good for the performers. They're only about money. And when an occasion like that is well, they're generated by two things. They're generated by money and the mysticism of rock and roll. You know, like there's a thing that people who go to stadium shows go, oh God, it was fucking great. There were 85,000 of us there, and we all had to piss standing up. And my girlfriend queued for 18 hours to buy a hamburger. It was wonderful, you know. And you have to sense when you hear things like that. Well, hold on a minute, you know. Not all the real connections are being made. And what it turns out about, it's about there's a kind of masochistic desire of being in an uncomfortable situation with a lot of other people all in an uncomfortable situation as well. And for the band, of course, it's money. There's no other motivation.
And interestingly enough, those gigs seem to be very much on the increase.
Yeah, well, maybe maybe. Are they?
Oh, I mean, certainly in London there's been, this year, Bowie, U2, Prince was going to have done it, Madonna's doing it. Whereas, you know, perhaps 5 years ago, there were very
different strokes
few
for different folks, but I'm not interested.
Have you been to them yourself to watch groups?
I've been to one or two, yeah.
Who have you seen?
I'm not going to talk about them because they're all awful,
yes,
and I'm not going to put people down. That's up to them. If that's what they want to do, that's up to them. And they, you know, people can make a case for doing. There's always a case made. Well, we have to do it because we've got so many zillions of fans. If we didn't play in a stadium, they wouldn't all be able to see us.
But they can't see them anyway, of course.
Well, no. I mean, the point about that is, well, if that's the case, why not charge $5 a ticket and make the same money you make when you do an arena gig? So it just doesn't hold water, you know. That's all right, you know. There are a lot of people who do stadiums who say, I'm doing this stadium gig because I can make $2 million a night. And that's all right, if you like that kind of thing. And if that's what they're in it for, that's all right.
Was there a stage when you started off?
I'm sure if I was skint, I'd do one. You see what I mean? Sorry, go on.
Was there a stage when you started off in the Pink Floyd where you did want, you know, the money as much, the vast quantities of money, as much as the artistic success? Well, what did you actually want?
Oh yeah, I think when I was kind of 15 years old.
Was the idea of being able to buy a car and a house.
Yeah, all that was... No, it was the idea of not having to get up in the morning that really appealed to me. I loved I just thought, I can remember my fantasy extremely well, and it was to have a kind of bachelor flat somewhere, you know, and the idea of waking up at noon. And a very simple life where you got up and you sort of pottered about for a bit and read the papers and maybe had a little light lunch. And then at about 4:30 started thinking about going downstairs to get in the van to go off to the gig up the M1, wherever it was. Then doing the gig and then going home and maybe a little light sex. And then up again at lunchtime for another light lunch and read the papers. And then, you know, it's a good life, so they tell me. Of course, it never happens like that. Does it, Andrew?
No, it doesn't, Roger. We're still trying, you know.
How did you find the reality of it almost immediately?
God, I can't remember that far back, Chris.
Why was that? Were you taking too much acid in the days of the Pink Floyd?
You never talk to anyone, you know.
No, not at all. It's a very long time ago. It's 20 years ago. Well, I can't remember it then.
I mean, did the Pink Floyd do a lot of drugs in those times, or was that a myth? I mean, actually, I've never read anywhere, I think that
I think Sid did a
it.
fair bit of acid, and we all smoked quite a lot of dope at one time, but I almost never did any acid. I think twice in my life, and nothing else.
Because, of course, you started off as an R&B stroke blues band, didn't you? And I mean, I noticed in the rehearsals just now that you were actually playing a blues number.
Yep.
I mean, you obviously feel that's truly part of your roots?
Well, that's where all rock and roll come from. It's all black man's music. You know, it's all come from Africa, even via the roots of, you know, the kind of the Woody Guthrie, Pete Seeger, Bob Dylan route to what I enjoy. It all comes from Africa in the first place. It's all rooted in the blues.
And this music, actually, on this LP seems extremely danceable. I mean, I can imagine it being played in a club.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to surprise you.
Not at all. I've not met you often before, but I've always recognised that you're a man of great imagination. No, yeah, I can imagine people dancing to it.
I mean, how do you feel about music like hip-hop, for example?
I don't know what hip-hop is. What is hip-hop?
It's a modern form of dance music that comes out of New York.
I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. I saw the Beastie Boys the other day.
Well, that's a sort of mutant form of
Is
hip-hop.
it? Well, I'm sure it's all right, you know, if you like that kind of... Personally, I don't like that kind of thing. But, you know, it's a funny thing about rock and roll. One of the things people find very difficult to accept about it is that it's a very, very broad medium and should be allowed to be extremely broad. And I, in my little compartment, making my concept albums and worrying about monetarism at the bottom and all these things, is a perfectly legitimate form. And so are... Well, maybe not the Beastie Boys, but whoever they were copying is probably a legitimate form as well. That for a particular form, I'm not all that keen on, because it just is, because it's apparently so contrived. And the idea of contrivance in order to make money is something that I find silly. Well, not silly, because making money, I guess, is something everybody's got to make a living, right? But I don't like it. It doesn't mean anything. It's a transitory, silly bit of nonsense that doesn't concern me. Whereas there are other people, you know, who are working in completely different areas than I'm working in myself, who are doing it because that's what they do, and quite rightly. It's a very broad medium, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, who do you consider to be good musical artists at the moment?
Peter Gabriel was the last show I saw that was really was first rate. I've been working on the record and I've been rehearsing, and so I haven't been listening to a great deal of other music, I confess. I don't know, you've caught me at the end of a day's rehearsal and my mind is a bit blank on other artists.
But in fact, the Beastie Boys is basically the Sex Pistols revisited in terms of the contrived outrage. I mean, the Sex Pistols came along at really the peak of the Pink Floyd success. And did you feel touched by that at all? Did you feel unnerved by it?
I don't think that they touched anyone but the media, personally. Mind you, that's silly for me to say, because obviously there were a lot of kids about who they touched. But I think that the whole punk thing has been blown out of all proportion by the media. It was a marvellous thing for the media to latch onto, you know, because it was a very, very simple and visual idea as well. You know, they had silly haircuts, so magazine covers and this and that and the other, and they went, yeah, we fucking hate fucking area, you know, which is good media stuff. But it didn't mean anything in terms of the ongoing nature of rock and roll. The only thing, I think, the only positive thing about punk was that it re-established the notion that people who couldn't play instruments were allowed to play rock and roll. And it had very much got to a position where people had got jolly good at playing guitars and keyboard instruments and drums and things. And there wasn't much room on the ground there for young people to go, yeah, we can do this. You know, it had become a bit intimidating. And I think punk was a good thing on those grounds because it allowed kids to go out and play without worrying about technique too much.
When you started off playing with the Pink Floyd, could you play very well?
I still can't play very well. I've never been able to play an instrument much. It's all bluff, Chris.
All bluff and technology?
No, actually very little technology in my case, but quite a lot of bluff. Actually, I have a reasonable sense of time. I don't play many notes, but the ones I do play tend to be reasonably in time.
How many basses do you own?
Well, there's my one. Oh my God. I own two. There they are. No, not that one. That one's my proper one, and I've got a spare.
So you've never been an avid collector of instruments?
No.
I mean, do you consider yourself simply as a musician or as an artist in the broader sense?
I don't think about it.
Because I mean, your vision is very visual, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, at the moment, I'm fighting for survival. I'm here with all these wonderful musicians, and we rehearse every day, and it is fantastic fun, and I love every second of it. And I'm working madly on quadraphonic tapes and phone calls with filmmakers and this and that to put together the Radio K.A.O.S show, and desperately hoping that we can encourage people to come and see it. Because there's a real resistance, you know, to this kind of work in the marketplace.
To what do you attribute that?
I don't know, you tell me. You see a lot more of what goes on in rock and roll and in shows than I do.
Well, as you say, you know, as you were saying with the Sex Pistols, I mean, it was very easily marketable.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe people are angry with me for leaving Pink Floyd. That's a possibility. Is it?
I wouldn't have thought so particularly.
Oh.
I wouldn't have thought so particularly. But as you said,
that's a weight off my mind.
But as you said, you know, you are not a brand name anymore.
No, I'm not.
Although and the name of the Pink Floyd is, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, but I would have thought that you were known quite well as the principal writer.
Yeah, well, but that doesn't make any difference to people when they buy tickets for concerts. Well, not enough, anyway, to make it a smooth passage.
But yet, I mean, I suppose you're saying that a record like Dark Side of the Moon, people didn't really look at the credits.
But I'm sure a lot of people did. What, you mean to see that I wrote most of it? Well, I don't know. I think I haven't the slightest idea.
But I mean, it was an immensely successful record.
It was.
What do you attribute its success to?
It was a very good record, Chris. God, we've been over this.
I thought it was fitting for tonight.
Okay.
Give me good luck on the first night here.
Okay, just tell me when you're ready to go. So this looks like it's going to be great.
A lot of fun, I
Okay, are you ready?
think. Yes.
Okay, tell me how you hooked up with Roger.
Back in 1979, I did an interview with him for the album The Wall, and it was an extraordinary radio interview in two parts in which we went through each cut, song by song. And every album subsequent to that, I would go and interview him, and over the years we became friends. And I discussed with him my problem that I was having with radio. He was going through leaving Pink Floyd at the time, both of us kind of leaving real successful places of business for creative reasons.
Okay, well then tell me what you think the message of the album is, because it's all
tied together?
There are many threads to the album, many messages to the album, and everyone should come up with their own answer to that. However, one of the threads certainly is the control that has taken over what was once a very free-form, outlaw art form called rock radio, in which creativity and progressive thought was at the forefront of what we were doing. Now it seems that there is a lot of corporate mentality, consultant mentality. It's been watered down. There's a generation of people that really don't know what rock and roll radio is, and that's very sad. However, the album on a broader sense discusses monetarism on many levels, from military spending and not spending on poor people to the way that all of our lives are directed and affected by monetary policy.
Roger, on the wording of the album, the parts that you do on the album?
Parts that I do were done in a spontaneous session in which he played the part of Billy, bounced stuff off of me, and I would respond. So I didn't write any of that. It's all Roger's stuff. He then went and picked out the pieces that he wanted and put them in there. So I basically just did what he asked me to respond to, and then later on he chose all of the responses himself.
Okay, so what's your final reaction to the album?
My reaction to the album is still awe, and I've heard this thing 1,000 times, and I'm still hearing new things in it. It is, without question, his best work since The Wall. And there is not only a great message to be learned in this album, but there's also a lot of humor in this album. There's also a lot of fun to be had in this record, along with something that people should be thinking about and chewing on for a long time.
Right, so it's all these different things working together. Okay, and the last question is, can you compare this album to any other album? I mean, you're a radio disc jockey, and
I don't think you can compare Roger Waters' work to anybody. I mean, I defy you to tell me anybody that even remotely reminds you of Roger Waters, which is what I've always loved about the guy's work, and why it's such an honor for me to be doing this, because after 17 years of broadcasting on the air, I never thought I'd be doing this, and particularly with Roger Waters. So it's a great thrill, and I might say that I'm trying to do this for all of my peers who have sat in little booths like this all of their lives and worried over the fact that were they doing a great show? Were they being honest with their audience? Are they bringing them the best music? Because we don't sit around and think about, oh good, the next commercial's coming up, so my paycheck's here. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love money, but I want to earn it on honest terms, and I don't believe that corporate radio is honest terms.
okay, just tell me, what for the concert, there are going to be call-ins to you? Is that
We're going to have calls from the hall. This was Roger's idea, to have selected members of the audience. I don't quite know how they're going to choose them. We'll be in a booth out in the concert hall, and then we'll call up here to the booth. You're going to see Radio K.A.O.S. on the road is a live radio program where Roger Waters and the Bleeding Heart Band comes into the station and plays live, like it used to happen. It used to happen that way a lot in the early days of radio, when people could A, really play their instruments, and B, really gave a shit about coming down and connecting with the audience. And this has a lot to do with connecting with the audience. The Wall was about the barriers that are put between us, and I think Radio K.A.O.S. is really a plea for people, again, to turn the radio on and not just be satisfied with what comes out of their lives, but want something of quality, because that's what Roger's stuff has always represented, and I have to go.
Great. Thank you. Very nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Good luck.
Bye.